Hello everyone, welcome to my channel once again. Today we're going to discuss the 3 things that might be keeping you overweight and obese. And I know these things really help me out a lot, and I hope they help you out a lot. So let's get into it. Let's just get right into it because I don't want to waste any time today. Hey, before we get into it, can you make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That way you don't miss a beat, because we got a lot of stuff going on this channel. With the skin removal surgery coming up in about 3 months. That's Mando, by the way. And you don't want to miss, because I mean, this whole transformation is going to be insane, because here in February they're going to be cutting off my man boobs and my arms, and then in July of 2024 they're going to be doing my belly, lipo, mommy makeover, all that stuff. It's going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait, because I wasn't even this weight in the 8th grade. So, I mean, if that makes any sense, it's just going to be crazy. So I can't wait for this new body, but you know, I hope to chronicle the whole entire surgery and the recovery for both of them. So it's going to be crazy. So I can't wait. Let's get to it though. So there's 3 things that may or may not be keeping you overweight. And I know these are big things for me, and I wish I would have known this stuff a long time ago, and I want to share it with you though. The first thing that might be keeping you overweight is just simply the fact that you're eating the wrong foods. And I know I beat this into the ground, but my success came with just switching from the processed food to eating real food. If it was altered by man, I try not to touch it. And of course, I got the dopamine hits. Of course, I love my sweets and my fried foods and my salty foods. You don't get to be almost 550 pounds without loving all that junk food. The problem is, though, is what it does to your health, what it does to your extra weight and everything else, and it's just a mess. So my recommendation simply is just cut out the processed foods. Eat foods that are natural to human history, to the point where you know that your body is going to know how to react to it. Because so there's like no Pop-Tart tree out there, and when your body consumes a Pop-Tart, it's going to not really know what to do with it. And how I want to describe it is like 500 calories of, say, fruit is way different than 500 calories of Pop-Tarts, and your body's going to metabolize that fruit way differently than the Pop-Tart. And you don't really have to have a scientific brain to know that, like, this machine that we are inside of, it needs certain fuel in order to be successful and healthy and everything. Like, the only real obese animals in the kingdom are domesticated pets and humans, because we're just simply not eating the food that nature intended us to. So, simple rule, like if it was altered by man, you might want to stay away from it. Now, the majority of my diet, I would say probably like 85%, is important to eat real, natural, whole foods, and your body's going to thank you for it down the road. So the second one that I would like to discuss is the amount of time that we're eating. I am all about the time-restricted eating. I love my 4-hour fast. Now, most people do really well with like an 8-hour fast, 10 hours, even like 12 and 12. You know, your body does need a break though from eating other than just sleeping, because when you're constantly bombarding it with food, it's not ever going to have a chance to heal and repair or actually digest the foods that you've been eating, like, say, hours ago. And I don't like eating in the morning, because I go to work at 7 in the morning and I'm not off till about 3 o'clock. The reason I do that is because I don't want to lug my whole days of food at work. I only get a 10-minute break and a 20-minute break while I'm there, and it just seems crazy to be just slamming all that food in my system. So when I get home about 4 o'clock, I'll eat my first food, and I usually try to cut it off about 8. And weekends are a little different. You know, sometimes I'll do like a 16-8. That's okay as well, I feel. But I mean, and you don't need to be fasting all the time either. But for me, what really helps out is just like knowing that I have to stay away from food from X amount of time. And it gives my body to like actually tap into those fat stores and everything. And if I'm just constantly eating, it's not going to be the best thing for me. So take that into consideration, try it, go like 12 to 12, and then like kind of, you know, every week kind of increase it an hour to the point where you're not eating for 16 to 24 hours. And the third thing that may be keeping you overweight, and this is a really, really big one for me, is you have to take care of your mental health before you can take care of your physical health. And the reason why I say that is because you might have some baggage that you're carrying around that's going to be really hard to, you know, like we use food, like food and anything with a dopamine response we use to make us feel better. And of course, you know, like if I went to buy a cheeseburger, for instance, like that first hit's going to be like, whoa, man, it feels so good. Your dopamine is going to flare up. But then after that, you're going to feel like shit. And I'm really sorry to say that, but like any food that has been altered by man, more than likely is going to make you feel like garbage. And the really interesting part of this is the more acclimated you are to the junk foods, the worse you're actually going to feel. And this might be really weird, but like through the week, I am like completely disciplined. I'm eating really good. But if I have a bad weekend, like I will feel those poor choices a lot harder the next day than say if I was eating that crap all the time. That's the real problem with eating processed foods to begin with, is because your body does get acclimated to that crappy food. And I can guarantee you right now that it's not going to do you any good. And I know it's hard. I know we all have addictions. I have my own. We all have our own. But the main thing is, though, is like if you want success and if you want the results, you've got to put in the work. And I'm not talking about counting every freaking calorie, because if you're eating the right foods, you probably don't really need to be tracking food more than a couple of days to kind of get a vibe for it. But if you're consistently making poor choices, it's going to make an effect on you. I'm 45. I don't feel like I look 45. Now, I look like I'm out of shape because of this right here and this right here, but that's all getting cut off here pretty soon because I've literally lost like 250 plus pounds. And of course I'm going to look out of shape when I'm actually like in decent shape. So, but anyways, that's all I wanted to say for now. I'm going to keep it short. I really like how this new setup's going. Please, again, like and subscribe and hit that bell icon. Support the channel. I honestly feel like this surgery, with the dynamic contrast between before and after with the surgery happening, I really hope this inspires some people to actually take initiative, take control of your health, and enjoy life for the first time, because it sucks so bad when you're like 400 or 500 pounds and your life is miserable and just everything just sucks. I understand that. I've been on the opposite side of the coin, and I want good things for everybody. I want to see a world of healthy people, healthy and happy people, because I guarantee you a lot of this health epidemic crap will go away. The mental health, the physical health, like heart attacks and diabetes and all that stuff will go away if people actually just eat real food. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you next time.